Aloha from the slopes of Mauna Loa, high up above 11,000 feet above the ocean, from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's observatory here on the side of Mauna Loa. This is the Exploratorium's Transit of Venus webcast, and as you can see in our white light view here, we're getting very close to third contact. You see a lot of refraction happening through the atmosphere because the sun is getting pretty low. And objects that are low on the horizon are subject to going through more of our atmosphere, and atmosphere bends light just like water or glass does. But there's just a lot more of it between us and the sun now because the sun is down so low. So we're approaching third contact. And you notice the difference between the white light view and the hydrogen alpha view. The hydrogen alpha sun looks bigger. There's more space between the edge of Venus and the edge of the sun on the hydrogen alpha view because we're looking at the outer.
Very nice timing, actually. Thank you.
And you know what? I'd say almost no black drop there. I mean,
no, I agree.
You know, that would have been a beautiful timing event for anybody who's really trying to catch the moment. I would do this, and I would add maybe 10 seconds to it, and I'd say we're there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there is the next image.
And there it is. Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Wow.
That is probably the crispest image.
Yes, very much
I've
so. Very much so. It's perfectly
of
tangent.
something like this at this stage.
The two discs are tangent. That is the perfect tangent image. It's almost like something from a math book.
I'm just pinning this stuff out.
Don't you think? That's gorgeous. That's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it's amazing. My right wrist is gonna fall off in a second.
Don't want to know, thank you. Your personal life is yours.
Now, of course, there is something else.
Oh boy, don't go there, man. Don't go there.
My friends, there's something else we must look for now, and that is once Venus sticks out a little bit, we want to see if its atmosphere, which is 50 miles thick, we want to see if that's being lit up from behind by the sun. So once Venus just gets out into space a little bit, we want to look very closely to see if we can see it glowing a little bit of an aura around the dark part of the planet.
Yeah. Okay, I'm looking at it. Wow.
Really beautiful. We're reaching the final moments of this long transit event. We've been at this for 8 or 9 hours straight. We've been on the air now for 6.5 hours straight. Live coverage. We've had a series of fascinating people. I'll exclude present company modestly, and I'll just point out that we've had everybody from a brewmaster to Dan Kelson to two lady solar
Lucy
experts.
Green.
Yes. And
Karen Pollard.
Yep. Series of fascinating guests.
It's been a wild show, and we've had, it's moved pretty smoothly, considering how long it's been.
There are so many people behind all of these feeds that I've worked with over the last couple of weeks. Some of whom were lucky enough to have clear skies today and no technical problems so that they could give us our images. And then obviously the people who have been online. It's been such a Herculean effort by all of them, not least actually by Matt Francis, who's sitting here in the Hangout as well. His images were superb. But it's certainly a team effort, this thing. And behind all of it are SLU members who pay their subscriptions to use the SLU telescopes, and that's what pays for us to be able to do these kind of free events online. So thank you, a big thank you to them.
Absolutely.
Well said, well said. And so our Cytherean experience winds down to the final minutes as we watch Venus now heading off into the blackness of space. I want to remind everybody that in just 2 weeks, Venus will start to be glimpsed right before dawn. You'll see it popping into the eastern sky, low in the sky before dawn, and by the time July comes around, we're talking about, only another 3-4 weeks, you will see the most beautiful morning star that we have seen in 8 years. It will be glorious and dazzling and even cast shadows if you get up about an hour before sunrise. And that will be throughout the month of July. Just look to the east, the direction of sunrise, an hour before sunrise, and you will see the same planet doing its best morning star apparition since 2004.
That'll be beautiful.
Yeah, look at that. So, Paul, are we getting any more shots coming in from Australia?
I have been refreshing it, so not yet though. The Haleakala is still updating, and that's kind of. In fact, you almost get a double drop effect there. The sun's edge seems to bend in, doesn't it? On the image on the right, the Haleakala one.
Yeah.
Well, it's so fuzzy. You said
it's maybe
it's so fuzzy.
It's a shame.
But, Paul, I don't think that's the sun bending in. I think that's still half of Venus sticking into it.
No, I didn't mean all of that, Bob. I'm not that tired. Who's taken that bite?
It looks like someone's taking a bite out of the sun right now. That's what it looks like.
Well, that's what it sounded like Paul was saying, and I wanted to see if I could.
Paul's just lost it. Paul, I'm going to have to mute you. I'm sorry. You have to be muted. You've been muted.
Okay. I mean, that looks like Dutch cheese to me, the Broom Australia feed now. So we missed that interesting in-between point, I think, Bob, that you were talking about. We didn't grab an image just at that point to be able to see a kind of ring of light of the Newtonian atmosphere.
Well, sometimes it extends even when Venus is fully just outside the solar disk. It all has to do, as you well know, with exposure, too. They're exposing for the sun right now, and it may be fainter.
Yeah, it looks like the Australia feed, I think, is the best one, right?
Yeah.
The one Broom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just getting to it. Yeah, the Hawaii feed's gotten a little off pointing.
So, gentlemen, what do you want to be for the next transit of Venus? I'm talking about reincarnation here.
Well, Bob, not far from my house here in Arizona is the Alcor Institute, where they basically cut off your head and freeze you when you die.
Oh, cryogenics. Yeah, I'll have some of that.
Why would
they cut your head off?
Why would they cut your head off? Isn't they going to make it a little bit more difficult to revive you in the future?
Well, it keeps the brain stem intact. That's why they do it. This is one of the Norway images, guys, just while you're talking there. And we are reaching the same point on some of the Norway images.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, or Australia, it looks pretty clean, too.
People won't be seeing this in the event viewer, but I'm just updating it now. So they'll start to see some of these new Norwegian shots come through.
Well, it's nice to know, Francis, there. It's nice to know that people think the state's economy is slowing down, but I'm glad to see there are still enterprises that are doing things like that, like cutting your head off. And
that's the next business. It's an extension. SLU is going to open up a subsidiary.
Only in America, says the English guy.
Oh, come on, Paul. There's a logic to it. If you.
Hey, listen, I'd have it done. I'd have no problem with that. No one else would have it.
Maybe if they could attach my head to a different kind of body. That would be fun. I don't know the tail.
You
Matt's
mean
tired,
like
obviously.
one of those mythological creatures?
There you go. I think we're
That's
going to...
Australia at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very nice. By the way, Matt, my favorite mythological creature was the one that had the head of a lion and the body of a lion, but a different lion.
I've never heard that.
Invited you,
If
Bob,
you guys
but you
want,
can come again.
I'm gonna invite Chuck back from the brewery. He's coming. I'm just kidding.
Don't have the stamina.
Well,
I love that one. Oh. Well, wow. Look at that.
Oh, that's even better. I would say that's halfway now. That's just such a beautiful image to me. I know it's black and white, but there's something about it. I really like that.
you can almost convince yourself that was like a hole in the sun.
Right to the end, huh?
Yeah, I'm just pinning some of these photos for records.
Those fingers are still typing fast, Pat.
Oh. I'm
I
so
haven't told
beat.
you I'm
so
having a day
beat.
off tomorrow. Oh, fantastic one. Norway's just come in. That's lovely.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think the chat room is calling for Chuck. They want Chuck back. They want Chuck. Yeah. They love Chuck. Chuck was funny. I've never that passionate guy about the transit of Venus I spoke to in this whole process.
Yeah, he told me.
Ah. Well.
I don't know about
So,
that.
really? That's what he
Well,
said.
Matt's. I called him. I called that guy. I can get in the trip. He said that Matt paid
seeing
for it.
Venus and the sun in the same breath.
So we're gonna. So Bob, you're telling me that we're gonna have hockey laka laka daka daka.
It's funny. It's funny. You have problems with that word. Haleakala.
Haleakala. It's because I've been doing this for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Sun rotation. That's when the spot is positioned so that it will follow what's called this Parker spiral and reach Earth. So I would expect that we are going to see auroras in the next few days and have here at Sloop.
So Bob, are you going to Alaska and do a live show again?
What have we had over the last year?
Well, we had the annular solar eclipse a couple of weeks ago. We had a live show of the auroras in Alaska with Bob. We've done a bunch of conjunctions events. We've done events on the Saturn. It's very difficult what we do. SLU does this stuff. We make it look easy. That's why we're really the only game in town that can do it well. He writes for Astronomy Magazine. He's written his book, well, many books, but this is the book. Bob, I'm giving you some promo here. Very entertaining read. What was that, Paul? You saying something?
I love Bob's writing, both in the magazine. It just makes so many subjects accessible. Yeah, I'm not a clever guy. I need stuff explained to me. That's why I asked Bob to repeat all of these lovely little snippets in these shows, and he says them so quickly. And I want to say that again. How fast was it going? How big was it?